Yo my people, it's Haris back with another video. I hope you're all well, I hope you've been good. And I just wanted to come on here and talk about the importance of not falling off after marriage. Now, I'm someone who's been married, and I know if you've been following me for a while, I don't really talk about my marriage that much, but I've been married nearly over a year now. And I wanted to talk about a common issue that a lot of people do, right? They go and get into a marriage and then they become comfortable, they fall off, they get fat, they're not as ambitious as before. And to be honest with you, this is a real big issue that I see, especially with most married men. Oh, I've gone fat. Oh, I can't run around with my kids. Oh, my son is calling me fat. My wife is calling me this. My wife's calling me that. I can't perform as this, that, and the other. And this is why it is a big issue, because when you get married, now what a lot of people think is when you get married, you're supposed to become comfortable, right? Like it's supposed to be a given. You get married, you're supposed to be uglier, you're supposed to be fatter, you're supposed to eat more food, right? That's what people think. That's the whole kind of stigma around marriage when it comes to you building yourself. Now, of course, there's other people that go into marriages just like myself, where we say to ourselves, we're still going to work hard. We're going to work even harder for our family because we don't want to be comfortable and fall off like most people do. And that's why you see it's a common issue and why the thing is called the dad bod, right? It's because when they become a dad, they're allowed to become lazy. They're allowed to be fat and unhealthy, etc., right? And yes, of course, our bodies slow down after some period of time, right? Like we get older, we can't run as much, okay? I understand that, but that doesn't mean that you can't control what you eat. You can't control how much exercise you do. Even 3 times a week exercise. Some people don't even exercise for years, right? And then when it comes to exercising, they're going on a run with their kids or they're playing with their kids, right? They're like, damn, why can't I run? My kids are just doing these things by themselves. Now you gotta ask yourself as well, if you want to be a role model for your family, your parents, your wives, your whatever, right? The first step is to make sure you are in the best position possible, because if you're not in that position, then how will anyone else follow you? How can you be a leader as a man, right? How can you be a leader as a father, right? That's getting onto my another point, but I really want to talk about why the comfort of it will kill you and how you can actually overcome this to understand that, right, this is exactly what I want to do. So when I was about to get married, as I was mentioned, like everyone was like to me, Haris, you know, you're gonna fall off, you're gonna get fat after marriage, you're probably not gonna go to the gym as much, you're probably not gonna come out to play football as much. And I was like to everyone, bro, like I think me getting married is gonna push me to go even further. Not because I want to attract the opposite gender. That should never be what it's about, right? What it should be about is becoming the best version of yourself, being the best for your wife, right? You get married, you got someone who sit next to you 24/7, right? You want to feel and look good in front of them, and that is what should be your drive. But not only that, because if you only do it for that drive, then when your wife doesn't give you that validation, then you're going to say, oh, I don't really need to do it. But you have to do it for yourself as well, and of course for your kids, right? And I think being a role model and inspiration is what drives fathers to be fathers, husbands to be husbands. And the reason why people get comfortable is because they feel like they've achieved everything. Once you get married, people think your life's over. You're not going to go on as many holidays. They say, don't get married, man. Don't do this, that, and the other. Obviously, I'm a Muslim man, right? And I believe marriage is only going to bring the best out of you. And I think it's probably the best thing for young people that can afford to get married. You should get married, right? Because it's going to bring another kind of fire in you to want to improve. Well, not for most people, for a majority of them, it will do that. And especially for me, it did do this. So I'm just driving, by the way, guys. Like, don't worry, I'm not holding my phone. As you can see, got 2 hands, right? But let's go on to the point now, right? How can you now start getting more active, right? Being an inspiration for your family, not having to be a pain, not wanting to be called fat, not to be looked at as the dad bod, right? You want to be looked at as the hero. You want to be looked at as the specimen of a man who's going to be a leader for you and your family, right? How can you do this? Well, here's a plan that you can follow that is very simple, right? Pick 4 days a week. Forget 4. Let's start with 3. Pick 3 days in the week, whether it has to be the weekends when the kids are asleep, when you have to wake up earlier than everyone else. These are the small things that will actually show that leadership, show that masculine trait as a father, right? Is getting up before everyone, you know. Doesn't have to be just for work, it can be for yourself as well. You want to show your kids that, look, daddy's going to the gym, daddy's going and eating healthy, daddy's doing this, daddy's doing that, right? And especially for your wife as well, your husband wants to be doing these things. So first thing I'll do is pick 3 days a week, right? In the beginning, 3 days where you're going to work out. You're going to do full body workouts and you're going to do cardios on those days. It's going to be about for an hour and a half max. It can even be just 60 minutes. And I know all of you guys definitely scroll on your phone for longer than 60 minutes, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing is, I want you to, for the next 90 days, lock in with the diet. I know your wife makes your favorite foods and you don't want to not eat your wife's food, but this is where you say to your wife, or if you cook the food yourself, right, how can I buy better alternatives? Now, as a father and as a husband, if you start eating healthier, what do you think is going to happen in your household? They're going to want to copy you, because that's what kids do. That's what wives do. They want to do what their husband is doing, what their dad is doing, right? So start supplementing all those unhealthy foods, those cheat days, saving money for the Friday night, going out and eating junk, right? Why don't you guys start substituting that for healthier options? Make better foods, chicken and rice, have some steak, right? If you want to go all out, have chicken, have tuna. Add some more healthier foods to your diet. And one thing you're going to have to stop is the snacking. Now, I know a lot of guys, especially when you get older, when you're working, you want to snack on this, snack on that. Avoid these snacks, because these are small calories that really add up. And again, it's going to make you look fat, it's going to make you become comfortable, right? And we don't want to look like that. What we want to do is dial in and become better, right? And even if you're watching this as a man who's not married, right, and you feel like marriage is something where you're going to fall off, right? This video is for everyone. Marriage is not somewhere where you get into marriage and that's it, you don't care about your looks. In fact, it's the opposite, right? I want you guys to do the opposite. I want you to actually feel like you want to set an example for yourself and tell yourself, after marriage, I'm going to stay lean, I'm going to stay going to the gym, I'm still going to go football with my friends, I'm still going to go to the gym, as well as balancing my whole life, my kids, etc. That's where the real men are going to show, and that's where it's going to show you if you are a leader or not. And it shows the difference between someone who will succeed in this life and someone who will not, right? And this is something I'm learning every single day. I've had to change my schedule, I've had to change my ways, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad change. It's change for the better, right? I go gym earlier, then, you know, maybe my wife wakes up a bit later than me, I'll go earlier. Or maybe when she's doing something or she's busy cooking or whatever, I'll slip to the gym, right? But I have to make it a priority. And once you make it a priority, then people know, your kids know, your wife will know, this is part of my father's routine, this is part of dad's routine. I need to make sure that he doesn't mess up that routine, right? You need to make it a standard. And once you get the standards risen up, that's when you're going to start succeeding in life. So look, guys, if you're here and you feel comfortable and you've fallen off after marriage, don't worry, there's always going to be a next time where you're going to build yourself. But how long is it going to take you to get there? The longer you wait, the longer it'll take you. So the best thing you can do right now is start exercising today. Start taking action, start eating healthier, start doing the small things, because these small habits will add up to be bigger habits. They'll add up to be part of your life. Habits, small habits will build, and naturally it's going to be a part of your life. I go to the gym every single day, well, nearly every single day, 5 to 6 times a week. Not because I love it, because it's a habit, right? It's become a habit of mine now. And it's because I've built that discipline over time. And that's the one key trait that I want you guys to build, is discipline. Small habits will add up. Just because it's a small thing that you're changing doesn't mean that these things won't compound. It's like compound interest, right? You put in £1 a day, after 365 days it'll be £365, right? It adds up. The things that you do when you don't feel like doing them, they'll add up regardless. If, you know, you miss a day, it's fine. You jump back right onto it. You don't go and have a bad day and then have a bad week. That is what will cause you to fail. So keep it consistent, keep it cool, and remember, you guys can change, and you can if you really put your mind to it. And you need to, because in order to be the best version of yourself as a man, you need to be an example to the children, you need to be a leader, you need to be a leader for your family, right? That is your motivations. And again, you're not going to feel motivated all the time. It's about building that discipline as well. And look, if you've enjoyed these type of videos where I'm just taking you along on a drive, a bit more of a personal kind of long form content compared to my TikTok and Instagram, which you're probably from, right? Then make sure you leave a comment as well, and make sure you guys are subscribing. It helps out a lot. You guys don't understand, like, I've been trying to do the social media thing for so long, and anything that you guys give me and all the comments that you already give me and the likes, the shares, it really means a lot to me. So I appreciate you all for that, and I just want to help you guys be the best version of yourself. So if you're someone now who is watching this and wants to change, today is the day. If there are people that are watching this that are 100% driven to change their goal, but they don't know how to do this and they need accountability, I've now got limited seats for my coaching platform. My coaching platform is here designed to give you guaranteed results in the next 4 months. If you're someone who wants to invest time, energy, and give you 100% and even money this is something for you. And if you're someone who wants to be coached by myself, I will help you get to your desired goal in the next 4 to 6 months. So if this is an interest from you, I would love for you to jump onto Instagram, DM me the word ready, and I will know that you've come from my YouTube. And what we'll do is we'll get you ready for the next 4 to 6 months, so you'll be a better father figure, a better leader for your family. I hope you guys enjoyed. Just arrived home. See you guys in the next one.